Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Cardcast. We are Nick and Mike. We are one
Number 12?
number for infinity.
Oh,
Cardcast number 12. You would know better than me.
maybe.
Somewhere around 12.
You
Somewhere
better
around
start keeping track of
a
this stuff.
dozen, a baker's dozen, a card shop's dozen.
11 too many.
So, yeah. Says everyone
Yeah. Right.
reluctantly watching right now. So, thanks for being here. Going to talk about some stuff tonight because that's what we do when we have these. Sorry we didn't have one last night. We switched from Tuesday to Thursday and then forgot that yesterday was Thursday. So we rescheduled for tonight. It's a good thing we don't have any big sponsorships because they would have been mad.
Brought to you by nobody.
Costanza. So, anyways, tonight we thought we'd talk about start talking about the collective bargaining agreement, baseball's lockout, and what effect that could have on cards. And so, if you don't know, baseball, Major League Baseball, and the Players Association are currently in a lockout, which is brought on by the owners, right?
Yeah, the lockouts are owners, strikes, or players. And it's just preemptive strike, basically. Like, I think they could play this season under the past agreement. Like, that's part of it. But then once they start playing, the owners lose all leverage at all because the players can strike at any time and then lose all the money for the postseason, like in '94. So it's kind of preemptive, but it almost kind of worries me that nobody's worried. Like nobody thinks that we're going to lose games from this or we're going to lose time from this. So there's no urgency still, even though there's a lockout for the first time in 25 years.
Is this the most brazen, like, owners being like, yeah, we're doing a preemptive lockout? Like, this is it.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing to, I mean, from what I heard, from what I read, they were in the room for 7 minutes with each other the last time they were together. It's like, this is our stance, and there's nothing to talk about. So it was kind of like just, everybody was planning for the lockout. I mean, they were telling the players, like, you're going to get locked out. Like, that's why there was that big wave of free agent signing, that stuff, like, early.
Yeah.
But it's not fun because it really doesn't affect, like, the average fan at all. But some of my favorite weeks of baseball are the winter meetings, and that's gonna not have an effect now. There's no trades, there's no free agent signings, there's no that's part of it. I mean, I love that stuff. So and it's all gonna be gone now. And it's, even if they come back on time, all that's gonna be scrunched within a week instead of stretched out over, hearing somebody sign every day or every other day. So it's just annoying as fans that information's not coming in when you just want to hear about baseball in December,
Yeah, and that's something to talk about because there is, I heard baseball, Bailey on Foolish Baseball, Foolish Bailey channel said, since there's no baseball going on at all, like, the Hall of Fame balloting is the only baseball news there is. Like, that's what's going to be on MLB Tonight, ESPN, and everything. Like, they're going to create basically entertainment out of who will or won't get in.
Yeah.
It's like The Bachelor now.
Yeah.
But it's Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez.
I don't know how many times I've seen the who's available in the veterans. They don't call it Veterans Committee anymore, but like Dick Allen's almost a shoe-in.
Yeah.
And most people don't even know what team he played for.
I feel like there's a reason for that.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't really get mad about it because you expect it, but it's definitely annoying.
Well, you always say, like, it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Good. And the thing is, anybody who was deserving of being in the Hall of Fame, in the Hall of Fame. So the Veterans Committee at this point, like, it should end after 30 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't be voting in Ted Simmons from 1972.
Yeah.
Whatever. I guess 80s. But.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you could play that game all the way down. Like, I can make an argument Frank White should be in the Hall of Fame because Bill Mazeroski.
Yeah.
You know, you could if you go down 5% every time, then all of a sudden you're at Ted Simmons or Harold Baines.
Yeah.
I mean, great players, but they're not
Good.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah, great players.
The whole, I mean, we've looked up Baines' stats before, but he's not.
No.
I mean, not in the sense of I think of a Hall of Fame.
Not Ted Simmons.
I'm not going to the Hall of Fame to teach my nephew about Harold Baines.
Yeah.
I will about Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron, and I'm not teaching him about a guy that had 2,800 hits and never played for 26 years or whatever it was.
Dick Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But
that's what's going to be the talk. You're right. Like they got to fill their time.
Yeah. Last year, and so I think, that immediately made me think that more emphasis is going to be put on the cards of the guys that are, on the edge. Kurt Schilling and Bonds and Clemens, Alex Rodriguez, Todd Helton, Scott Rowland. I even thought about buying some Scott. Yeah, he's probably got the best shot right now.
He's the cleanest of everybody.
He's the cleanest. I think he's 70 WAR, 2,500 hits.
Is he 70 WAR?
I think so.
That's a lot of defense.
I mean, how much can it be, though? I guess it could be 40, close to 40, if you played 20 years and had two WAR a year of defense.
I bet it's half. I mean, without looking.
Yeah.
Maybe wrong. He was always, he was Gold Glove-ish every year. He was always there. Yeah, I think the fact that it's A-Rod's first year and it's Bonds and Clemens last year is it's really interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
because I haven't watched any ballots. I haven't watched any returns or whatever.
Yeah,
like do they split vote? Do they if we're gonna put A-Rod in that failed drug tests,
and
we're not gonna put Bonds and Clemens in that never. Well, Bonds I guess failed a test or two.
Ortiz's first year too.
Yeah,
who never there are no official tests even.
He was in the Mitchell report in 03.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
sure? David Ortiz. Yep.
100%.
90%.
Okay.
I'm going off what Bailey was talking about.
Oh, really?
Night.
Okay.
He said I'm pretty sure this is what he was saying, is that David Ortiz gave a voluntary test where no information was supposed to be disclosed, and somehow that got leaked and it got printed in the New York Times.
That he tested positive, or he just gave the test?
That he tested positive for PED. So nobody knows what it was. Nobody knows if it's true or not. Nobody knows. It was less than that.
Well, that's what the Mitchell report was.
Oh, was it?
It was a bunch of anonymous tests.
That's garbage.
And then they just read who tested positive, or somebody read out who tested positive.
Bunch of anonymous tests that nobody has any proof that ever existed.
They existed. They were just supposed to be anonymous. What they wanted to, the Mitchell report was, or part of it was that they wanted to test a certain number of everybody, Canseco was saying it was 50% or whatever he was saying, that percentage. And Major League Baseball wanted to say, no way, that's right. And then they tested it, and that was right, or closer to, it was closer to Canseco than it was to Major League Baseball.
Okay.
So, from what I remember, I mean, it's been 15 years now.
So that really means nothing to me. You know, if half the guys in baseball, I mean, Piazza's in, Ivan Rodriguez is in.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably say half the guys that have gotten in the last 10 years use steroids at some point in time.
But it's so hypocritical because out of Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens, if you put one in, you got to put them all in.
You should.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you're a hypocrite.
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Barry Bonds is the most disliked, by baseball writers, I would think. He was the most brazen, and by fans. Barry Bonds is just disliked. He is the steroid era darling because he was the best at it.
Yeah.
And he just was very like not gross, but like like he rubbed people the wrong way.
Right.
But he did he was doing all those other guys were doing the exact same thing. They just weren't as good.
Yeah. But it's also you can get a ticket for going 75 and a 65. If you go 140, you're going to jail.
He wasn't taking more steroids than everybody else.
He was doing it better than everybody. I don't know what doing it better means, but
I mean, I'm just saying he was that much better to begin with.
Yeah, he was the best player in baseball when he started taking.
Yeah.
So then to go to take another step, he was better at it than everybody else.
He was better at it than everybody else. So like, this was saying like, yeah, if you let Mike Piazza and Ivan Rodriguez in, you have to let Barry Bonds in.
I'm with you.
Manny Ramirez too. I mean, one of the best hitters, probably top 10 best hitters.
Yeah.
Ever, maybe.
I mean, then
top 20.
It just opens the Pandora's box. I mean, how's Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire not? He had 600 home runs or 586 or something like that.
Yeah.
Sosa, he's what he hit over 60 home runs 3 times. I mean, Roger Maris is going to, I almost guarantee Roger Maris is going to get into the Hall of Fame for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So Sammy had 3 that were better than that. Mm-hmm. See that Pandora's like moving it down 5%.
You're doing the 5% and the steroids. Yeah. Well, I mean, if Ted Simmons is in, like Sammy Sosa, definitely.
Yeah. If Ted Simmons is in, like, we might as well put MJ Melendez in now.
Yeah, for sure. Led the minor leagues in homers. 2021. It's very hypocritical, and it's like, it should be done a different way. Like, baseball writers, and this is just my personal opinion, the way I look at it, you have a very select group of people that have very similar characteristics. Mm-hmm. So you don't have like a good sample of the population. Mm-hmm. You just have these guys who are 90% probably men, who went into baseball writing media or whatever. I don't know what you got to do to be in a baseball writers association. Yeah. They're going to have a lot of the same characteristics. Like, if you ask me, they're a bunch of uptight nerds that won't vote for Barry Bonds, but that's just me.
Well, when they started they were the perfect group because, I mean, in 1939, the public wasn't watching every game like they can now.
Sure. Or
highlights or anything.
Yeah.
So you had to pick somebody, and those were the guys that were covering all the games.
They knew.
But heck, that was 80 years ago. Or whatever it is. Like, stuff changes.
Before moving pictures.
But I still don't think it should be like fan vote or no. I mean, every Yankee would be at that point,
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know.
I don't know what the right way is, but like, you can't just have a 10-year period where nobody gets in because friggin' Sandy,
Bud,
soft case over there, like, doesn't like something about him.
Yeah,
Kurt Schilling wore the wrong shirt.
Has a wrong Twitter account.
I mean, somebody Todd Helton got a DUI.
And,
it's dumb.
Yeah,
but I do think it'll affect the card values. Like,
if somebody gets in this year, I mean, nobody knows if somebody gets in this year, their cards are going to, for the first time in a long time, somebody getting in the Hall of Fame might spark their card.
Yeah. But I think Bonds and Clemens, like last year, it was so high, it wouldn't have changed. It probably would have went down if they got in. Or it would have stayed the same.
Mm-hmm. It was already priced in.
It was priced in. I think this year it will be too. Maybe more.
Is there stuff moving? I haven't watched.
I think Bonds is moving. I think his stuff's like his 87 Topps rookies, like, went for $3 to $5 a piece, and there's more people. It's more liquid at $5 than it was.
Yeah.
is like I've got a Fleer Update PSA 9 that's went from a $350 to a $450 card. A couple.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
going up.
incremental.
Yeah,
It's
that's
going
going
up, but for sale.
Follow the link below.
Yeah. Oh, my link's not in there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think them. What else? So many people out there only collect baseball cards.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, what else are they going to think about? What else are they going to buy? What else are they going to,
I guess I mean, Bowman Draft's about to come out. I mean, you could change focus from current guys to, because this doesn't affect the 40, the pat under the 40-man roster. I mean, I don't know what that really means or anything, but it only affects the 40-man. I mean, they could go to spring training. I mean, they're not even close to this, but those guys are going to go to spring training.
Well, the minors, they can still practice. They can still use facilities. Like, I don't know. Can they still play the season even if there was
if they had to,
a strike?
Yeah, if they had to. I mean, yeah, they won't do that, but they could. I mean,
They would stand in solidarity with their brothers.
No, they would play.
Oh, they would.
Yeah, I mean, a minor league guy, if he's taking even a week of a major league paycheck's worth more than they make the entire year in the minors.
You mean replacements?
Yeah.
Like actually bringing them up to play in the major league.
Oh, you
games.
mean like Omaha just
I'm saying,
there.
just playing the minor.
Oh, they're gonna there'll be a minor league season.
Yeah,
just the top 14 guys on the 40-man will be there.
Yeah,
because it affects the 40-man, not the 26 roster. So it's all those guys. So it kind of worries me, but I guess I'll go along with it. If nobody else is worried, I won't worry about it. Like that there's no action.
Yeah. What worries you about it and other people not worrying about it?
There's no urgency. I mean, nothing gets done without a deadline usually. And we have a very what's the word, starts with an I, a very ambiguous, I guess, deadline now. It's like, yeah, if we get it together by February 22nd, then maybe we can have full spring training and full, like,
sometime between the Super Bowl and spring training. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah. So what are we just take 2 months off and not do anything? What
they're gonna do is they're gonna walk in after the Super Bowl and realize just how entitled the owners feel because of COVID last year. They feel owed.
Yeah.
They feel like they've got some weight to swing around.
Yeah.
And they don't. They don't have any. No. The players could just say, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll play until we don't want to play.
It's hard to argue how much money you lost, and then Corey Seager gets $325 million.
Yeah.
Like, Corey Seager's a good ball player.
I mean, it's just hard to have sympathy for a bunch of billionaires anyways.
Yeah.
That are guaranteed to make a profit every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Like, I'm not picking sides on this because they're both, if anything happens to the game, if they're not there opening day when it's supposed to be opening day, they're both.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not picking sides until one of you shows me you're not an idiot. And both of them right now are idiots. I mean, the players are locked out, but the players could also, I mean, they're asking for stuff that they know they're going to get, but they're using it as bargaining chips to get other, like, of course, like, the universal DH I mean, people like it. I mean, I would rather have it stay the way it is.
Yeah.
But they're arguing about stuff that they know is going to come back. I mean, they're not really that far off, except they're just pissed off that they forced them to play last year. I mean, that's a lot of it. It's like a lot of the guys wanted to stay home, and they were fighting over money back then. And it's like the owners made them play because they get all that playoff revenue, and the players they only had to pay him for 60 games or whatever it was, 62 or 60 games, and then the owners supposedly made all this money, and now they're trying. I mean, it's just holding grudges about like opt out if you don't want to play, you know, and all this. I don't. It gets a deep dive.
That's what we're here for.
I guess.
That's why these stupid conversations last this long.
It's true. I remember my dad was a union guy, hardcore. You know, he was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And they would call him in at 3 a.m, and he would make sure that, you know, the two guys that were supposed to be called ahead of him got called first, and all, you know, everything was in order. And when the player struck in 1994, he never went to another baseball game.
Really?
Yeah. And he used to love. We'd watch World's games all the time. He goes, "I'm not paying another dime to this."
Really?
He never went to another game
because he thought they made too much money already.
Yeah, he's like, they're fighting over more money than any of us could ever spend.
Yeah.
You know, they're like,
but they're fighting over it from somebody who's getting more than 100 of us could ever spend.
Yeah. He was, from what I remember, I was when it happened the first time, I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So from what I remember, he's like, I'm not giving any more of those bums any of my. That's what he said. So even when we got free tickets, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he was only around 3 or 4 more years after that, but he never went to another baseball game after the strike.
Huh.
And it was, I feel that way now. Like if they screw up, you know, like if they take away opening day and they take away even spring training, and like I'll go to baseball games again, but I feel like I want to say that, like, just get your house in order. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to know how the sausage is made. Just serve us dinner. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the inner workings of that type of stuff. You know, you can ask me about whatever. You can ask me about 40-man rosters and Rule 5 draft and all this stuff, and I love that stuff, but I don't want to hear this crap, because it's just two people getting in a room and saying, okay, if you do this, I'll do this. If I do this, you do this. And then, so get in a room and do it. Yeah. Like, what's 2 months? Like, you're just wasting everybody's time. You're taking away the winter meetings. You're taking away all this fun that people have. You're taking away, like Corey Seager can't go do a press conference. Marcus Stroman signed with like 10 minutes left or whatever. He can't go do it. Like, you're taking away the hype from the fans, the Cubs fans. All that hype from December 1st till whenever they sign, February 22nd, is not going to be smashed on the February 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, and it's all going to be smashed in 4 days. And nobody's going to have fun with it. There's not going to be any momentum. Mm-hmm. You know, we're just going to start a season. It's like, because you guys are arguing over 1% of revenue.
Well, the players could have went in and been like, okay, we want to sit down and figure this out. And the owners could have been like, no. I mean, they instituted the lockout. The owners did. Because they know a bunch of guys won't be able to sign. It's going to put pressure on them to want to get signed and get this over with. And they'll carry that out so that they have leverage. Because they're business people. And they do businessy things. Like create leverage in negotiations. Ooh, I'm so tough. Stupid. It's really stupid.
It's going to affect
that is
Carlos Correa's cards.
Yeah.
It's going to affect... Oh, sorry. It's going to affect... I mean, anybody that's not signed, you know.
It's not going to affect Trevor Bauer.
No.
Getting his
Trevor Bauer is affecting Trevor Bauer.
He's getting his $18 million next year.
40.
Yeah. Carlos Correa. Who else didn't get signed?
Trevor Story, Chris Bryant,
Kyle Seager.
Some of the, like, Kenley Jansen. I'm trying to think of starting pitchers.
Clayton Kershaw.
Kershaw. Robbie Ray went to the Mariners at the end there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably half of them signed, half of the top 50 or whatever, the ones that like really make a difference right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
do you think it'll affect their cards that much? Them not signing?
I think like I have a ton of Carlos Correa cards. Before the 17 cheating scandal, I thought he was gonna be like a MVP caliber shortstop, and he's put numbers up for that, but now nobody cares. I mean, nobody likes him. So I've probably got 50 update rookies and some short prints and some gold of rookie, the 15 update. If he signed with, I mean, everybody's saying he was a Tiger. If he signed with the Tigers, it would be better to have 2 months to sell the stuff before the season than it would a week.
Yeah.
So I mean, it may not affect the value immediately, but I always say it's better to sell somebody before we see him fail.
Yeah.
So it's better to sell him during the off season, right when he signed, when everybody's excited about him.
Wouldn't there potentially go to the Yankees?
That was my guess. But then he said Jeter didn't deserve his Gold Glove, so he wasn't signing there.
Who would ever think that?
See, I told you Correa reads the defensive metrics and knows how to manipulate.
He does.
I guarantee he studied Derek Jeter's defensive metrics. That's the only reason he would say that. Because it's actually true.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to hear it.
Right. Nobody in New York.
No.
Definitely nobody in New York wants to hear that. That Derek Jeter was a very good player.
Derek Jeter is Robin Yelp. With different location.
He is.
I'll say that until the day I die.
He is. Look at his stats.
Yeah.
But, like, that, you're exactly right. Like, it's probably not going to affect their card prices that much over the off season, but it'll impact whether they're not going to go up. They're probably not going to go down a whole lot. They're not going to go up.
And there's only certain teams they sign with.
I mean, what happens to Corey Seager's cards? He's going to the Rangers.
They're down.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're already down?
Yeah.
But I mean, the Rangers, who else did they sign? They signed Simeon.
And John Gray.
Got any pitching?
No.
None.
No.
Angels signed Syndergaard.
Yeah. It's just a project, though. It's a one-year deal. Hopefully. I think he's not going to be enough.
They signed somebody else, though, too, didn't they?
Yeah, another pitcher. I forget who it was. I mean, they're trying, but I mean,
it was somebody good.
They might just be trying to keep Ohtani and Trout around too.
Well, Ohtani and Trout basically came out and said they need to buy some pitching.
Yeah,
it is pretty much exactly what they said. Angels free agent signings. Let's see. Transactions. Sam Sullivan. Rachel Iglesias.
Oh, they did sign Iglesias back?
Michael Lorenzen. Phil Gosselin.
Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah. I thought there was somebody else.
Look like yeah.
Syndergaard.
Aaron Loop's not a bad left-handed pitcher.
Sandoval's back. Sandoval's good. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. But I do kind of feel like the market is kind of leveled out. I'm seeing guys start to go up. I was telling you about Darius Garland.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised to see that. Like, I had a bunch of stuff in my dollar box. Because a month ago, 6 weeks ago, like you'd be lucky to sell him for $1. I mean, he's been putting up good numbers all year, but it shows me that stuff's leveling out. This is one thing, is the Darius Garland thing. Whenever it shows me things are leveling out, whenever players like that their prices start to go up. The other thing I've noticed is that you still see a lot of low sold comps, but on a lot of cards, if you go to like lowest listed, you know, like there aren't any listed like real cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So like the guys that were bailing have bailed, basically,
Mm-hmm.
is what that tells me. They've bailed. And if you get action on those cards, well, the only ones available are the ones that are, priced higher, more reasonably to what people want, whatever, what they expect.
Right.
So kind of in a thing now where like I feel like if somebody, I don't know what it would take for a player like right now in football or basketball or baseball to take off. Like at this point, like I mean, in basketball, I don't know what you can do through the season. I mean, you can make the All Star game. I don't think there's anything really crazy that, even if you get a 40 or 50 point game or something like that, like it's not going to be insane. It's just going to kind of, tip the needle for a couple days. That's about it. But that stuff's hard to predict. It happened. It always happens.
Yeah. Who was the guy we were searching for?
Basketball?
Yeah. Um, maybe it was basketball. I mean, like the postseason baseball. Like the guy would have, but that's different animal. Postseason is a different animal. Trying to think who it was. I we were looking for somebody.
The John Morant Young Dolph card?
No, we were pulling something else.
I mean, Mike White. Then we were pulling Miles Bridges.
Yeah,
maybe
it was Miles Bridges. I mean, he started off really well. I don't know what his numbers are like now, but didn't Garland's numbers start going up when Sexton got hurt? Is that kind of why?
They did, but they've also been good
Have they?
all year. He's solid. I don't think they're insane or anything like that, but yeah, Miles Bridges started off really good, and then Terry Rozier came back, and I don't know. It's just my take that Terry Rozier has kind of hurt the team. Like he doesn't have that same chemistry that Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball had whenever it was just them on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of leading the team. But he's definitely cut into Miles Bridges' numbers.
Yeah.
Like he was averaging 25 points a game and 8 rebounds and 6 assists, and now he's averaging, 19 points a game, 6 rebounds and 4 assists or something like that. It's definitely cut into his numbers, but also like by wins and losses, they're not as good a team, and there's like there's a specific point when that changed, and it's when Terry Rozier came back.
Right.
Everybody's hyping up Terry Rozier because his numbers are really high, but they're not winning like they were.
Yeah.
So, just my little.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know who would. I don't know what you would have to do right now to be
in this market.
Yeah, it's weird because, like today somebody brought in a PSA 10 Luka Prism, and I'm thinking, I mean it's low enough. Maybe I'll think about it. And I looked it up, and it's like there's several selling for $500.
Yeah,
for a 10. I mean, it's crazy. Like the mindset, like the mindset of the entire industry can change just like that. Where used to it was, I mean, like the mindset was Luka's gonna be the next big thing, and get as many of his cards as you possibly can. And Luka's trajectory hasn't changed at all, really, right?
No.
I mean, and now it's like that card's never going to be worth anything. I mean, anything. It's,
I think that card should be in line with what a Juan Soto Topps Chrome PSA 10 is. About $350, right?
Yeah. I mean,
For Chrome
but
update, I guess.
but Juan Soto's Chrome was never $2,200.
No, but Lucas never should have been. I mean, a lot of that market was different because it was sneaker flippers and like that mentality that they would buy every one of those they could get and then just consistently be rolling them over. So you've got a ton of sales volume on eBay or wherever, that's driving the prices up, and they don't care because they're just trying to sell it for more than they buy it for. So you've got a ton of volume in that there's all these people that are doing the exact same thing, which is just they're just rolling these cards over, flipping these cards. Um, and that's I feel like that's what drove the prices up so high.
Right.
Was that's the only way you keep 20,000 PSA 10s to the price going up is that 15,000 of them are in the air, like they're in the process of either being bought or sold. Like there might be 1,000 of them in the mail through eBay transactions at any given time in 2020.
Right.
Any given time in 2020. That would not surprise me one bit, because if you get on eBay back in February, January, December, whatever, and look up PSA 10, I mean, there might be, I think there could very easily be 100 sales today. Back then. I don't know about today.
Yeah.
100 or more sales in one day of a PSA 10. So
yeah, I wasn't holding any of those cards, but I can see why it's disheartening for somebody to put, 2 house payments into a card. Now it's worth 25% of what it was, and the guy hasn't done anything wrong.
Well,
like the card.
Not gonna say I told you so, but go back and watch some of my first videos. Yeah. I mean, no, you're exactly right, and I feel bad for those guys too, because they didn't know, or else they wouldn't have bought that card. They didn't understand the dynamics of the market or anything, and that's not their fault. Like, so many media outlets and YouTube channels and everything just made cards seem like this really easy thing that's
or how good an investment it is.
Really simple. Oh, and it's an investment.
Yeah.
The fact that
it's an alternative investment.
Cards are a store of cash. They're not an investment.
Yeah.
There's no way to predict what's going to happen tomorrow. It's like, I mean, but yeah, you're exactly right. Like, that's what people said.
Yeah.
They're an investment. Buy them, hold them.
Yeah. And it ended up, especially basketball, and ended up being a pump and dump. I mean, basketball's back to like previous levels of interest. Like, I mean, Kobe stuff's half. LeBron stuff's under half what it peaked out at. I mean, Kobe's under half of what it peaked out at, but it's. I mean, I would wonder. I mean, Kobe Topps rookies. Kobe, like high end Kobe's okay, but man, it's the same thing that we talked about before. It's hard to when people come in and they ask me, hey, it's what should we be buying right now, and it's like, I don't know, like I really don't like. I wouldn't be buying anything to hold long term.
Yeah.
People come in and they say, hey, honestly, am I selling something that you think it's stupid for me to sell right now? I mean, I had a guy ask me that. If any of that stuff was yours, would you be selling it right now? I was like, everything I own's for sale. Because we're like, I don't know how far down the mountain, but we're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And everything's for sale. we do it a little bit different than somebody that just buys it and holds it for 6 months and then hope it goes up in that 6 months or whatever. But I mean, it always goes back to what we always tell people: is just buy what you like because you like it. You know.
I mean, that's not. Yeah, yeah, and people convince themselves that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like what they do is, a lot of people they invest in the players that they like, but they still look at it as investing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's I mean, it's an awesome hobby, and there's definitely ways to make money at it. Um, but I'm like you. I don't think there's anything.
We're gonna see the real. We're gonna see the real collectors. The ones that are here in 3 years are gonna be the guys that are real collectors.
I mean, if you want to hold Ronald Acuna for the next 3 months, that's probably not a bad idea. Or there's some other baseball guys that I can think of. Um, yeah, Wander Franco or whoever,
right?
But Christmas is coming up. I think stuff will kind of go up a little bit between now and Christmas just because of increased volume. And like I said, a lot of people, the people that were bailing out, like they've already listed and sold their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's driven the market down as much as it has. So, um, if there's less listings, more volume, then price will probably go up some.
A little bit, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I mean, we've been telling it as much as we can over the last 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, this is coming, and it's not going to be fun to watch the value of your collection go down, but there's gonna be a correction, and the only people that really lose out are the ones that bail out because they bought something they didn't like in the first place. That they were just supposed to make money on. So I mean, it's hard. When you buy a pack of cards or you buy a mega box, I mean, you're not gonna get 60 cards that are your PC.
No.
You've got to sell some stuff to buy some other stuff. I mean, you just can't keep putting money into it. So it might be a time like Patrick Mahomes is a little low. It might be time to take a card that you didn't think you were ever going to get rid of. Like a guy came in today and traded me a bunch of Giannis PSA 10 refractors, prism silvers. But it was for a Mahomes rookie card that he never thought he could afford. So
Gotcha.
It's gone. Or didn't even really know if he was ever going to get it. But it was a VGS 9.5 optic rookie.
Yeah.
And traded me some stuff that who knows where those cards are going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like Giannis silvers and Wander Franco chromes and like who knows where those go. But that Mahomes, if it stays anywhere near the value it is now, it's going to be the centerpiece of his collection for a long time. So
yeah, it has a lot of potential to go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
you're talking about somebody who always has a chance. Like the Chiefs have not had a great season, but they've got a chance to win the Super Bowl this year.
I wouldn't want to play them.
No, no. Their defense has looked a lot better in the last game. The offense always has that potential.
Yeah.
So
95's inside and 49's off the field. That's how I got it. That's the only reason it's better.
Sorensen they got rid of. Huh?
No, he's just off the field.
What do you mean?
I mean, he doesn't play anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, Fenton came back and Javarius Ward came back. So yeah. Friday night, man.
Friday night, and I'm feeling right. But it says viewers will experience buffering.
I don't know what that circle is over there.
Oh, might not be good. I wonder if people can even see or hear it.
I don't see the desktop audio on at all.
There's still 8 people. Oh, that's because it's down here.
Oh, I see.
There's still 8 people in the thing.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah. Good.
Maybe we should talk about making panel.
All right, show your stuff off.
Yeah. All right, this is
You got an SGC submission back.
Got an SGC sub. Some of this was mixed in already, but basically, Nate did a video of it, and then basically it was at least one of every mantle. I mean, there was a couple of years I was missing in there. Go from 54 on, 53 on.
53 on. 53
yeah.
on. Because there's no 54 or 55.
Yeah. I think there's a 54
but there's a 54 moment. Yeah.
I think I was missing 60 and maybe one of them.
There's no 58 base.
That's right, 58 base.
There's no there's a few in the 60s, but
yeah. There's some other cool ones.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, these are oversized, you could probably tell. But 47 to 66 exhibits. It's not a portrait. It was mislabeled by both of us, I guess. And I don't think I've ever owned this card before. If I did, I didn't know it. But this was probably put out in around the mid-50s. Probably pretty similar when that one was. And they just kind of... These exhibits were like mail-in stuff and giveaways and stuff like that. They're totally underrated for what they are. I mean, Leaf even in 2005 did a reprint of them. I'm not a reprint, but did a whole set of them based on this stuff. I mean, some of these say like, I have a Joe DiMaggio that says something like "Sincerely Yours," and you know, every card has like 2 or 3 different variations. But these are really cool, and they look really good in the SGC holders too.
They look really good.
I mean, they're perfectly sized, they're perfectly fit. They look really good in the holders.
Yogi Berra is the only guy I can
really
for sure point out in this picture. But I know. See, who was playing at 55? There's Mickey.
Yeah,
he's got a really good picture there.
Billy Martin was on the team. Hank Bauer probably.
Is that Billy
Whitey
Martin?
Ford?
No. Yeah. There's Billy.
That's Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Yogi.
Really cool.
Yeah. Then one of the toughest ones, I mean the one to get besides the 52 was a 53. This was an old label, came in a deal though. It's very cool, man. I mean, it's an iconic card.
Yeah.
In any condition, it's worth something. So we had a bunch of that stuff. You guys can come to the shop and see them if you like. We had some other cool, you know, like there's a decent Joe Montana rookie. This is probably one of the best condition vintage basketball cards I've ever owned. Bob Cousy in a 7.5. I wish the Baylor was in this. It'd be a bunch more.
Belgian Baylor.
Yeah, the Baylor's a rookie card.
Yeah, there's a Baylor. There's a Bill Russell in action.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
So this is really a conglomerate of at least like 6 deals.
Yeah.
And there's a Griffey Upper Deck rookie.
That's just
different
cool.
wilts. Huh?
That just came out of a set that came in.
Yeah. It just looked really good. 56 mantle, kind of beat up, but heck, it's a 56 mantle.
Kind of. Golly,
it's half of a 56 mantle.
Somebody took a power sander to that thing.
Try to take some years off.
It's a 1 miscut.
Yeah.
It's a negative.
It
1.
needs a qualifier.
Yeah.
So fun stuff this week.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, there's a very good chance there's never this many cool mantles in here ever again.
No, not at the same time.
Like, it's just a really weird how things go in like stages. Cause like you said, like this is, I mean, right here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, I can count 5 different fields right here, at least six, at least 6. You know,
and
but
people bring you what you
it
have.
all adds
so
up to that. There's
yeah,
that one, that one.
that's craziness.
Yeah. So
1948 swell Babe Ruth, our number 1. I don't think I haven't owned this card before where I knew it was real 100%. That's kind of why I sent it in. But that's Babe Ruth in the suit, and then the guy that's playing him in his movie or in the movie. This was right before he passed away, so it's about the closest. Actually, I've had a strip card of him before, but it just said it didn't say Babe Ruth on it. It was just a strip card that was Babe Ruth. This was right after his playing days, I guess. I mean,
but the guy that plays him in the movie was the Yankees bat boy when Babe Ruth played for the Yankees.
oh really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Uh-uh.
How did I know that? Oh, it says it on the back.
Oh,
I think it
does it?
says it on the back.
Oh,
Or
it's too
something.
small. I can't read it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's a cool card.
The other guy in the picture.
That's a really cool card.
That's a really cool card.
52nd year, Hank Aaron. This is probably. I mean, this is a really clean 2.5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 2.5, but it's really clean.
It's centered. The corners are just really round.
Yeah.
I don't think it has any wrinkles or creases, does it?
I don't think so.
I don't think it would get a 2.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have a little wrinkle.
But this is why we use them, is because if you have this card ungraded, and you stick, say, a $400 price tag on it.
Yeah.
I mean, this card books in Beckett for $2,000.
Yeah.
But if you put $400 on this card raw, you'll never sell it.
Yeah.
But now that it's in a 2.5 and somebody knows what it's $400 tomorrow if you wanted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's worth the $30. It may not necessarily, like, on paper increase the value of your cards, but if I stuck this out, I would have to stick this out for $300 to sell it.
Yeah.
And so I paid 30 more to make it sell for 400 immediately.
Yeah.
So I guess that's changing the value. It's the same way with this one. Like this one, this looks really clean too. For a 2. I mean, it's not totally torched or anything, but there's issues up here that you can't really see. I mean, it's way off centered. There's issues up here on the stars. So, like, basically, you know, you get somebody else's opinion on it and you can't take it out and examine it yourself all the way. I mean, it looks a lot better than it really is in a holder. You know what I mean? But it's got the right grade on it.
I mean, it is a 2.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Like, it's like, for whatever reasons they decide, like, it's a 2. I mean, it's not a good 2. It's not a bad 2. It's a 2.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, there's no way you can present that, any other way you can present that, where, you know, somebody's like, yeah, I want that for that amount of money. Like, now. Like, it doesn't excite people. Or whatever. Like, I even think, like, I think you could probably sell this for more than a 2, maybe raw. Like, if you found the right person. I mean, because just looking at it, there's a wrinkle back. But just looking at it, like, there's a chance that, I mean, I could easily see somebody looking at this thinking, well, there's a chance it comes back a 3.
Yeah.
If it wasn't almost miscut, it probably would be.
I mean, you'd have to really. I mean, it's got some surface damage that you really can't. I mean, you could see up there the stars part of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's hard to see, but it's there.
Oh yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah.
It's like somebody like bit down on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Maybe it was a dog.
Yeah. I'm not saying they'd be right. I'm just saying I could see somebody looking at that thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
It
it's but now you know. So, you know, it's $30, and you know, I wouldn't do that with new cards at all. You know,
no,
you ain't doing it with Prism cards. The difference between a 9 and a 10 is, but this you want to know between a 1 and a 5. You know,
yeah,
and
or even authentic.
Yeah, I mean that's what we did for that Ruth. I didn't care what it came back as long as they put a grade on it.
Yeah, for sure.
The difference to me between a 1 and a 5, mean, obviously I wanted higher, but I just wanted it graded.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good haul.
It's been pretty exciting. It's been really fun. Yeah, like I said, I mean, there's 28 29. Wait, take 1, 2, 3 cards. That's 26. So counting the exhibit mantle, that's 27 graded mantles in this box.
Oh, that's more than I ever thought I'd own ever.
Yeah, I mean 69, 67, 267s, 369s, 266s. This is just, I mean, most of them are like threes, twos, threes, or 4s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but who cares? Like, I mean,
those
are good grades.
Yeah, these are just the graded mantles. I think we got another 5 or 6 over there that aren't.
Freaking 62-6.
Yeah.
It's tough to get 6 on any of those cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
The best part about all these is that they're 90% of those is that they're affordable.
Yeah, that is the best part.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's not somebody that's looking in a price guide saying, you don't have to. There's no arguments anymore. It's like, yeah, that one looks really good. It could get a 6. No, it's a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes any questions out of it. Which I like to be. That's the way I like to do it. Is try to be upfront. And, like, to me, this one is a much better card. But if you stuck these two in front of each other and took that off of there,
mm-hmm.
trying to get 800 for this one and 250 for this one, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But now you can.
Yeah.
So
the magic of grading.
The magic of somebody else's opinion mattering more than the person in front of you.
Yeah.
Somebody you've never met before.
So much that piece of plastic's worth.
Yeah, right.
$400, $500. So, but yeah, that's been the highlight of the week for sure.
For sure. Verstappen or Lewis? I don't even know what sport we're talking about there.
Soccer. Right? Oh, Verstappen or Lewis. Oh, that's friggin' Jeremy. That's F1.
Oh.
It's F1.
F1. My bad. That's how much we put into it.
I don't even know what those words mean.
Lennox Lewis is who I thought of. Shows you how old I am.
James, this is the problem with McGuire is never admitted to using it until it was too late, even after the 98 season. Yeah, that's the problem. I think a lot of guys, they always denied it, or they never... what did he say? Andy Pettit was the only person that, the first person that actually came out was like, yeah, I use steroids.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't have much to lose, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if somebody told you I was taking steroids, you'd be like, it didn't help. It ain't working. You did it wrong. Like Rafael Palmeiro, that guy was never accused of taking steroids until he said he wasn't taking steroids.
I use it for longevity, so I can get 16 hours a day of sorting cards there instead of 12.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
But yeah. Various cards. Hey, do you guys do gift cards or gift certificates to the warehouse? Wanting to hook up my little brother with one for Christmas.
We do.
Do we?
We do.
Do we?
She's got one printed off.
There you go.
Yeah. Ask the wife. She's on it. She's on that stuff. But we do. We've had a couple before, so yeah, we can any amount that fits your needs.
Yeah.
So
did y'all do those? Y'all have done those before?
A couple times. I mean, it's just a generic, thing that she prints off, but she went back and printed or made a sheet that was kind of sarcastic and
oh yeah,
yeah, Yeah.
Does it get the warehouse logo with a little Santa Claus hat on the side?
Not yet.
Because it should.
Not yet.
You have to talk to your graphic design
Yeah.
manager about that.
Or invoice supplier.
Graphic design
artists.
Yeah.
We do though, Barry. Yeah, that koozie's pretty sick.
That Bob Cousy's insane.
I don't know who the KC Current is.
I think that's current trade for. I think that's soccer. Yeah,
KC Current, is that the women's soccer?
I don't know.
I think they're busting our balls.
Sorry, Sean. Terrible.
We won't be at either one of those shows. We will be. Our next show will be the 18th and 19th at Olathe, at Hampton Inn in Olathe.
Either of which?
It's at St. Joe. Will be at St. Joe Relief Summit?
Well, they don't know that. They don't know what she said.
Oh, my bad. We will not be at the St. Joe show, which is happening now.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Today and tomorrow. Maybe Sunday too.
Yeah, you're right. It is
4, 5, 6, right?
Yeah.
Snuck up on us.
Did I call Carleo last week? I was gonna do that show.
Oh yeah.
And I called him and told him I wasn't gonna be able to. But I might have. Maybe I called. No, I called him last week.
Okay.
To say at least I for sure gave him 2 weeks notice, or almost 2 weeks notice.
I'm sure he sold it out.
Yeah, he called me back. Carleo, if y'all don't know Carleo, if you're in the area, he puts on the St. Joe show, and he's like one of the nicest guys you ever meet.
Yeah.
He's got Pony Express memorabilia. What's it called? Sports
I think
memorabilia.
so, at the East Hills Mall, St. Joe.
At the St. Joe Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called me back. It's okay. It's okay.
He is nice.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Women's soccer team. Sam Mewis is on the U.S. women's national team and one of the best soccer players in the world right now. Huge midfielder pickup. Go Current! All right. Need a Current hat.
Well, we need a top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah, top 10 players of the KC Current every week. What do you think?
How many players do they have?
I don't know.
Top 10. Top 10.
I remember.
plays.
I remember Drew Holiday, the basketball player's wife, used to be on Kansas City team.
You know, Dennis
all I
Rodman's daughter was on the U.S. women's national team?
No.
Or is on the U.S. women's?
Is her last name Rodman?
Layla.
Layla Rodman?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Pure
Indeed.
talent.
And if you haven't seen Dennis Rodman lately, he's fried.
Caught up with him.
Yeah,
all that Vegas living.
See him in The Last Dance, and guys going to North Korea and eating dinner with Kim Jong Un and stuff like that.
Seen that part of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean by fried. I don't know that he's more fried than that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, maybe he'll pull a Mick Jagger and just be like that for the next 20 years. Or, not Mick Jagger. Who's the guy that was always...
the guitarist of...
It was, like, always mocked. Yeah.
So, fitness sitting this week? Yeah. I think he's fine. I mean, I hope so too, but I think he's fine.
Sure, he's okay. Trinity. Layla Ali is who I was thinking.
Oh.
Muhammad Ali's daughter, that's who I was thinking of. But she's probably like 30, 40s.
40s, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Trinity Rodman. She's legit. Women's national team rookie of the year.
Okay. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Now you do.
There's so much soccer in my head that I never thought would ever be there.
Yeah.
We actually watched the full soccer game earlier this week because one of our customers or friends had money on it.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of fun to watch because there was 5 goals.
Yeah.
If there was 5 or 6 goals in every soccer game, I might actually watch it.
Do you remember which 2 teams were playing?
Man U and Ars. That's what I remember. Because I remember Dad asking if it was City in England, so Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal. I knew that.
Yeah.
What happens when Man U plays Man City? Like, is it brother versus brother?
Yeah. I mean, on the fan side, it is.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty crazy.
Yeah. That's like the Jets playing the Giants or something, where both teams are good.
Old Chiefs Raiders. Or
like the first Royals Cardinals game ever in the regular season.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there murders in the stands or anything like that?
Columbia was torn. Right. Oh, right. I've probably got more soccer cards. I've got the most baseball, then football, then basketball, and 4th is definitely soccer.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, more than hockey, more than anything.
More than everything else combined, probably.
Yeah. Well, no. There's not more soccer than racing.
That's true. But
value-wise, there's way more soccer.
Yeah, racing don't count.
Yeah. Soccer hooligans up to no good. For sure. I've got it. Did I just list what was that card? 101?
Yeah. It was a 101.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the guy. I mean, that didn't mean anything, but it was a Prism Nebula, is what it was.
Sean bringing that in?
No. I think it was,
yeah.
There was a gold auto of a Japanese guy that was legendish, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a couple $100. Yeah, we sold some big soccer cards for not really knowing anything about it, for sure.
We know how to list them on eBay.
Yeah, right.
So we know.
I know how to look stuff up on eBay. And I know how to ship little diagonal pieces of cardboard that, so we can do that.
But yeah, we're good at that.
It's more about what you're like Magic and Pokemon. Like, I think it's more about like what you value yourself, because like I know Pokemon. I mean, I can look up Pokemon and know it has value. Like, if somebody brings me a card and said how much is this worth, I could find out how much it's worth. If I'm buying that card, as soon as I own it, it has zero value to me. Like, zero. Like, Pokemon and Magic and Pokemon, I understand why they're valuable. People used to collect them and now they're hard to get. And I understand why they're valuable. It's just like a chase thing. But there's no, like I'm holding on to a lot of that soccer to wait till the World Cup and there's a build up. Like, what's the Pokemon? Pikachu can't hit 70 home runs. He can't.
No, but they could make a movie or a video game or anything could take off. Like that Pokemon Go or whatever.
Yeah.
That video game where people went around
mm-hmm.
with their phones and stuff. Like, that was a big deal. I think that,
back to the value of the cards.
I think so. But that was 2016. I think that brought it back to everybody's attention because their kids are playing it and they're going around. It's a cool game. It's a really fun game. They're going around with their kids.
But imagine doing that. Imagine doing that every year.
Yeah.
It's called baseball. You go out and play with your kids in the backyard. Wouldn't that be so much fun if you could do that every year? And maybe get together with other people and play that game outside on this grassy fields.
You act like, it seems like you've got strong opinions towards this. Please explain.
Huh?
Explain.
Explain my opinion on Pokemon?
No. Why? Do you think people aren't playing this game you call baseball?
No, I just mean
like it's to play. Like the point of the Pokemon cards is to play this game, right? I mean, they have power and stuff. Like I play Stratomatic, but the Stratomatic cards are worth nothing the next year. They're not worth anything.
Well, not if you don't take care of them.
They're not. They're not. Anyways, like I mean, I guess original sets from the 70s might have some value, but
yeah,
just doesn't make any. It's like having a deck of cards. I mean, what's the difference between Pokemon and a deck of cards? Like, are there decks of cards? I mean, they even call them decks of cards.
Yeah.
Is there decks of cards that are worth more money? Like, I just don't. I mean, I don't understand.
There are definitely decks of cards that are worth.
I just don't understand the value of. I understand why it's valuable. Just I understand supply and demand, but I don't understand why that is particularly valuable. I guess I don't have to, but I just don't.
It was, popularity versus, supply and demand. You know how it works. Yeah. Popularity versus print run. So in 1999, it was really, really, really popular. They didn't make, or at least after 1999, it was really, really, really popular. They didn't print much of it.
Yeah.
I mean, also though, like that was the end of the 90s. The 90s were the beginning of the latchkey era, where like, oh, there's a sexual molester on every corner. Like, don't let your kids ride the bikes in the neighborhoods. And like crime statistics have always shown, like there's no difference between the crime of the 60s or the 90s, the 2000s. Yeah. Like you weren't more you were more likely to get abducted in 1990, 1995. It's just what caught people's attention. And so they created so people after the 1990s, people didn't go out and play.
People can make the argument that Mickey Mantle's not hitting home too.
That's right.
But it's also like if you look back into those like old tobacco cards for baseball, like a common you can buy like an 1886 Allen and Ginter flower for $10.
Yeah.
And a common baseball player's $400.
Yeah.
So like baseball sports stuff has always had way more value than this other stuff, like those other non-sports stuff. So cool. Yeah.
Those Ginters from the 1800s. Yeah. I've never seen one in person.
Yeah, they're sick.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
Like they look just like the new ones, basically, right? Only like 130 years old, 140 years old.
They're
yeah.
I mean, they're fun.
Yeah.
It's people that you don't even know either. I mean, if you find one, that thing's like tens of thousands.
Yeah.
So it's even people you don't even know, but still they're.
Are they minis?
Yeah.
They're not regular size cards. They're more like a Ginter mini.
They're more like a
like a T206.
Yeah, they're that size. They're a little bit bigger, but they're that size.
Wow. It's even cooler.
SGC holder.
Pulling up. Yeah, pulling up. Because I just don't. It's just not something. I mean, I always knew the modern Ginter, but I didn't know they would look that cool. Like it just wasn't something I was in. I mean, it wasn't in my
1886 probably.
It wasn't a realistic thing for me to own. Gosh.
But see, those are from the same set or similar sets.
Yeah.
And you can buy them for $20.
Yeah. Julius Caesar, great generals. Let's just do graded because I want to show people.
You put in, I don't know if there's a baseball section.
Collectible tobacco card. Wait. Tabacchiana. It's a weird. Okay. There aren't any.
Maybe it's not 1886. Maybe it's 1888.
Wait,
something like that.
Let me see if there's sold one. Maybe it is 1888.
Yeah. Interesting.
Or I could just look up Cap Anson.
Yeah.
Right? Or somebody like that. Oh, there we go.
There's the baseball.
Perfect. This display. So, yeah. I mean, they look
really similar to the new ones.
Except better.
Well, that's a reprint.
Oh, is it? That one's not better.
The grade one below it, like 3,000.
Is that a baseball player?
I think so.
Ed Hanlon. Of the Oarsmen.
No.
Oh, no. He's an Oarsman.
Look
at that, though.
Yeah. The color on it.
I
mean, that one's so expensive because it's 8.5, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to move this over a little bit because the picture was getting cut off by the... That is crazy. There's definitely a lot to be said about that stuff. It's not something I was ever like any of the pre-war stuff, but especially these, like Jack McGee, Pugilist, 88. They just are so cool.
I mean, how famous do you have to be relevant 130 years later?
Yeah.
You know, so this guy, I mean, obviously this guy was one of the best in the world at the time.
Yeah.
So,
if you don't know, pugilism, also known as boxing.
Sweet science.
Yeah. The gentleman's game. Percy Stone, cyclist. Dang. Look at that dude.
But this is where they get the idea for, this is where they get the idea for Alan Ginter and all those weird people in it.
Yeah. Oh, there's the actual one of that reprint I looked up earlier. Yeah, so. Ooh, there's a billiards player. Kind of went down a tangent here, but I don't even remember where this started.
I don't know either.
I'd like to actually find it. There's no rifle shooter.
Wow.
Tough. I'd like to actually find a baseball player in this, but
there's a 21 tops buyback. See that one?
That Cap Anson
right there.
Oh no! Really? They put original ones in the
buy it back and frame it up, yeah.
Oh, that is dumb.
They didn't change the card, they just framed it.
Yeah, I know. No, I mean dumb in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
They did that in the 2002 T206 and stuff. Those are really cool.
2002?
2002 Topps made the T206 set, yeah.
Yeah.
And they did that with the original. Those are really cool.
Racing Colors of the World. One packed in each box of 10 cigarettes. It's a 1-of-1.
Can you imagine, like finding a box of cigarettes and opening that? You would just throw that away.
Yeah.
Even if you knew who that was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like finding something to, like a bag of whatever.
I sold that Tom Brady, that disc I had?
Mm-hmm.
That found was an 02 out of King Bee beef jerky.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the...
I used to eat this stuff all the time.
Yeah, me too. Isn't it like the chew cans?
Yeah, it's chew can, yeah. You put it down in your lip and
Yeah. Did I tell you about that? Yeah, when I was home, back at my house in California when I was like cleaning everything up, I found a can full of those. And there was an O2 Tom Brady in there.
That's cool.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, like, I had to have bought a can of that, like, almost as a joke. Because I would have been like a junior in high school or a senior in high school.
Yeah.
I think it might have been an 01. Yeah, so I had been in a Casey's or something and been like, let's be funny.
Yeah.
Ended up having a Tom Brady in it.
Yeah.
Not like it was really valuable or anything, but it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's stuff like that I mean, none of us are going to be around when that's valuable, but that's going to be really valuable in 130 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
His O2 Tops card will be cool as well, but that's going to be really unique. And that's going to be the Dandy proof, and that's going to be the Red Heart dog food card, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may not be even as valuable, but it's mainly because people don't know about it more than the card's much more rare, you know? So it's cool.
Yeah. Go back to showing the business.
The moneymaker.
The moneymaker.
Kyle Tucker, super cheap. Look at his pop report. Not much. And yeah.
Was it 2019?
19, yeah. But he didn't play enough to get graded till last year. I bet there's a lot more Kyle Tuckers coming back.
Yeah. I mean, pop report. Pop report only represents. I mean, it represents how many are out there and how many can be sold. But it only represents how many have been graded. I mean, I guess when I hear people talk about pop report, I think of I allocate pop report to rarity, because if you go back 10 years or more, 20 years or more, then pop report normally correlates with rarity, but not in the last 10 years. And that's probably not what Theodore's talking about, but you know, it's
you have to be careful nowadays.
You have to be really careful. That's one of the things I remember when, like, Marvel 91 Marvel Impel Marvel or 1990 or whatever, when it got real big last year.
Yeah.
And those boxes went from like $300 to $3,000 a box or something. People were sending them off to get graded, but I remember Northeast Ohio Sports Cards has a YouTube channel. He sent some off, but he's like, I'm paying to get these back as quickly as possible because the pop report's going to go through the roof. Because there's millions of them out there.
Because they were $1.
Yeah.
And they weren't worth grading.
Yeah.
It's like someone, you know, there's a kid that comes in here that is like, his entire thing is finding a super rare card, making something that's not rare super rare. So it's like, I have this Giannis insert and it's only a pop 3.
Yeah.
It's like, because I have 35 of them sitting over here that are $2 each and nobody's going to grade that card. Yeah. That's why it's a pop 3, not because the card's rare.
Right.
You know, that's where you have to watch yourself.
Yeah. Mike White does not have a rare card.
You might have a pop 10 Prism. It's because there's 10 Cowboys fans that just wanted it encased.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be careful on the pop reports.
I mean, in a way, having a low population count, like in the case of Mike White, like in that situation where that's all there is out there, it probably does make the card sell for more if he gets, you know, if he's really popular and you've got that card graded. But if you were to send that card off to be graded, by the time you got it back, he would be where he is now.
Or even if he continues to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mac Jones Donruses.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's some manipulation going on there, but I probably have 10 Mac Jones rated rookies laying around here.
I could probably find 10 in 10 minutes.
Yeah. But a PSA 10 of that card's $3,000. I'm not sending that thing in. I'm not paying $300 to get that card graded.
People are buying those for $3,000.
Look them up.
I mean, you might as well send one in Super Express for $300.
I should.
$3,000. No way. 2021. I mean, you might have to send 3 in, spend $1,000 to get one PSA 10.
They're Donruss cards. They're all pretty much mint.
$1,275.
Oh, okay.
They're already starting to come.
Yeah.
They're already starting to come down.
I guarantee there's sales of $3,000 on that card.
Well, what's the PSA 10 pink or press proof and like pink and gosh.
Good luck, Papa won. Look, $2,800, $2,100.
That's dumb. But that was just like 4 days ago.
Yeah, keep going down. There are more. There are more. Look at that, $3,500 for the rookies. Oh, that's not.
Yeah,
but still, $10K for Mac Jones, number to 50.
The gold out of 50.
Pop one. There's the 3,000.
Stupid.
That's the base one right there, right? $3,050.
Yeah, that is the base one. Oh, I need to show you all how stupid this is.
It's being manipulated a little bit, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They pump that card. They pump it. It sits out there. The base cards go from 30 to 50. They dump their PSA 10s.
Yeah.
Whoever's doing this, they dump them at $2,000, and they're saying comps are good, but it's artificially inflated.
Yeah. And the comps might not be good.
This should be illegal.
Yeah.
Anybody that calls sports cards investments, should be able to go to jail for doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, they're robbing people of thousands of dollars. That's not 1 or 2 sales.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's a lot of sales. Uh-huh. And they hung out up here around $2,000, above $2,000 for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, a long time, like a week, but still, that's a long time.
Well, you're not done in the history.
No. Because, I mean, this product's been out for
a month and a half.
Yeah. I mean, I could have sent 4 orders to PSA at Super Express. Dang, wish you would have told me about this. I don't, actually. Being me, there's no way this works in my favor. Like, this is the thing where God and karma get together and go, oops, that was stupid.
Yes.
Like, you deserve this.
But it has an effect on everything down. Like,
$4,000.
$4,000 one.
2 weeks ago.
That's the $20 card that's out of the.
Well, they're $50 now.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why.
Yeah. Gee.
There's not 1 or 2 sales for $3,000. There's a bunch.
No, I've at least passed 20 that were over $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. Some guy put one up and buy it now for $1,200.
I went immediately.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my money. Oh, here's a case hit hollow. 6,500 or best offer.
Yeah.
Oh, they did Marvels?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I haven't seen any of those yet. Those are cool.
They're cool. But I wonder what, like, the first one, like, what's the first one graded?
That's a case hit, right? Night moves?
Yeah.
Bet those are cool. Have you seen any of those?
No, I think they're hobby.
Yeah, I would think. They look cool, though. What was that? What were you saying?
I said, what was it? I wonder what the very first one was.
We're going to find out. We ain't playing around here.
We have Raws for sale, but we're not buying Mac Jones PSA 10.
No.
There you go.
$430.
I mean,
on October 17th.
6 weeks ago.
Even $430, that guy made
$100
if he sent it in Super Express.
He did. somebody out there bought. I have a buddy that owns a grading company. He bought 200 of these things out of probably out of factory sets or out the back door, whatever. So somebody else did this. Like, you can buy quantities of this card. So you buy them 6 weeks ago. You know, like, the Patriots haven't lost a game in 6 weeks. I mean, that's part of it. But you send that in for grading at the $150 level, and the entire time they're in there grading, you keep pumping them, and keep pumping them, keep them. You know, you buy one for $700, and you buy one for $1,500, and then by the time you get pumping them, by the time you're done pumping them, you've got 40 more coming back or 100 more coming back, plus the 3 you've bought. You know, this one just worked. I mean, people try to do this all the time. This one just worked. You know, this one caught on.
It was like all the things fell into place. They didn't lose any games. Like, he was playing really well.
The people that are doing this probably didn't want this much attention.
Yeah.
They probably didn't want him to go to $3,000.
Right.
They wanted him to go to $750.
Yeah.
So they could turn, $180 investment into $750.
Yeah.
If that card's $750, you're like, oh, that seems a little high.
Yeah.
But you're not at $3,000. You're like, what the is going on?
Yeah.
So it's the Wild West out there with it. I mean, if sports cards are an investment, this is fraudulent.
Okay, but yeah, it's fraudulent. But there's also the chance that if only you and other people that are doing the same thing are controlling this market, then what's to say that, I mean, I guess once you drop out of the bidding, somebody's going to jump in there at $1,500 and think it's cheap. Somebody's going to jump in there at $1,200. Somebody's going to
$1,200 buy it now seems like a deal right now if you're just looking at eBay comps.
Yeah.
And somebody's got $180 in that card. And somebody bought it for $1,200. That's probably going to make money on it. But
what's the warehouse paying for PSA 10 Mac Jones base?
We'll pay 40% of comps. Of original comps. Before they won 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
You know what would be funny if you kept track of all the PSA serial numbers on those and see if they all the Mac Jones Donruss came out of the same batch. Like we're within
I don't have time for that, but I wish I did a little bit.
I wish you like all the Mac Jones Donrusses are within 200 serial numbers of each other and all came from the same person.
Or like put them in a spreadsheet and each one, what the serial number is, the date, the serial number, the price is sold for, the seller is a really important one. And do that for every listing, every sale of a base PSA 10 Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody out there has time and like what we're talking about, that would probably be worth your time. I bet you would discover like some really interesting stuff. But it's not illegal. Nobody's going to go to jail. You're not going to, nobody's going to care really, except for you. And it's going to be really interesting. It's just going to prove to you that, there's a lot of manipulation goes on. This
one just got a microscope on it.
And if you want to email it to us, then we'll
make a YouTube video. You'll get at least 2 views. 1, 2.
Yeah. No, they can email us the spreadsheet.
Oh,
and then we can go through
it. We'll make our own.
We'll make a video, or they can make a video.
Yeah.
Whoever wishes. I leave it up to you, but I don't have time for that.
No.
I got cards to send out.
You're gonna be. We have Sports Card Giant. We have Comic Book Giant. You're gonna be Vintage Card Giant.
I might be Vintage Card Giant.
Yeah.
The only issue is this is my main source for vintage cards.
Yeah.
And they're just not hard. They're hard to find. Like I could go to every shop in town, and probably be like, hey, I'll buy any bulk vintage that you've got,
Mm-hmm.
and probably not come home with a whole lot.
Sure.
You know, I mean, it's one thing, you know, everybody's got a PSA Mantle or Ruth or Maze or something like that. But show me a 4-row box of 1968 tops,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or I mean, that's the kind of quantity you got to get to actually turn it into a
Right.
business. And I don't know where you get it, you know.
It doesn't walk in every day.
It doesn't walk in anywhere
Yeah.
every day. And if it walks in anywhere, they send them to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't walk in here every day.
Yeah.
You know.
That's where these deals came from.
But I'm working on it. I had a really good week. I mean, I bought a bunch of stuff off of you. There was 52s, 53s, 54s. The main thing is learning about that stuff, because there is for one, it's just really fun to me. I really enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton that I like more about vintage cards. One is that it's just a way better clientele to deal with when you're doing cards on eBay. It's much easier. You get fair offers. People take responsibility for their own, grading. As long as you put decent pictures up, they take responsibility for if they miss something on the pictures. If you're being honest with them, you're not going to have any issues. Yeah. It's completely different. And there's so many unknowns. There's so much information to be known about each set in vintage and everything. It should be more complicated to do modern. It's not. It's more complicated to do vintage, where there was only one set of one sport, and that was it. But
every card could have 10. You could have 10 subsets of every card now.
Yeah, every card has 10 grades. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing, is you have to become like very good. You have to become good at grading those cards quickly, like looking at them, like that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. But yeah, short prints, errors, learning the semi-stars. Most people know the stars, but even some of them are a little obscure to a lot of people, or have been to me.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I have a lot more fun with the older stuff than I do the newer stuff.
Yeah,
a lot more.
The newer stuff pays the bills.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun with the newer stuff too, but it's like kind of gets monotonous isn't the right term, but like like a guy came in today and had a binder full of basketball cards, and everything in the binder was from the last 6 months or last 8 months, and it's cards that we got boxes of, and it's like, I can't, like, all right.
Was that the $10 conversation? I heard you out there with that guy. I know it's the same guy you're talking. Well, maybe it's not the same guy you're talking about, but I heard you out there with some guy, and he's like, "Can't even give me $10 for that."
No, it wasn't that guy.
Oh, it wasn't the same thing.
No, that was a different guy.
Okay.
No, that guy had those little. It probably come from Carleo, is who they came from. Those little faux wooden plaques.
Yeah.
And he had Marcus Allen, which was by far the best one, Greg Hill, and Dante Hall. And he's like, "You can't give me $10 for those 3?" I was like, "No, can't.
No. Can't even give me $3 for those 3."
No. This other guy had a binder, and it probably had. I mean, it had 750 to 1,000 cards in it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the same, it's not even like mosaic. It's like the good stuff is illusion. There's tons of hoops and it's just commons of, like the good cards are pulled out. So there's not even like LaMelo rated rookies and stuff. It's just like, this looks like, I mean, this is displayed nicely. That's what the binders are for. But it's really just a 1-row box of commons.
Yeah.
It's really what it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not commons, but like base cards, like cards that would be $1 or under for us out there.
Sure. Like there might be a Giannis Illusions, but that's probably the best card you're going to find.
Yeah, LeBron base or something maybe. Yeah. But it's like, I mean, he had a stack like this of baseball, and it was basically, I could tell it was like a Mosaic Mega that he bought for $60, and the auto's not in it. And it's like, like for all this stuff here, I can give you $60. It's like, but that's $60 I will never, there's nothing in there I could sell for $10 and get any money back. It's just like all quarter stuff.
Yeah.
That the next guy is going to have this or more of the same amount, like we bought, there's people that think it's a service of ours just to take your base. Like
it is.
Right, like I give something for them just to make it a transaction.
Yeah.
But there's other people that want you to go through every card.
Yeah.
It's like we have a standard buying price for this. It's like as long as it's not pulled, as long as it's not completely picked, as long as there's still stars and stuff in it, we pay $25 for a 4-row box.
Yeah.
And most people, most of the people that we buy from are happy to bring in 4 of those and get $100 because they don't think it's worth anything. Because there's nothing for them to do with it.
Yeah.
We have an outlet for it and can make money at that. And, but then you have some people that bring in a box or a binder and it's 600 of those same type of cards and they want, you can't even give me $50 for that. It's look at all those cards, So it actually, I hate even buying binders because it takes more time to pull the cards out than it's worth to mess with them.
There's no,
I'd rather him be in a box than a binder for sure. 100% of the time.
100%.
Yeah. So only way to make those profitable is
sell them in the binder.
Yeah. But anyways, there's a lot of people that open packs and just leave the commons here.
Yeah.
So it's different strokes, but
they're never going to be worth any more than they are right now. A common Nolan Ryan or Patrick Ewing is worth the same as it was in 1996 for the most part.
Right.
Off topic, but IPC Jim Edmonds. Touche. Do you think you have any harder to find stuff of his hiding in some boxes at the warehouse?
Jimmy Edmonds, probably nothing. Who knows? There's definitely some, press proofs and stuff like that back there from the stuff I got back there is from 2000 to 2009. Better. The stuff I got hardcore is 2003 to 2006. I've got numbered stuff, I'll have a stack of 2005 Leaf Limited golds numbered to 25. I'll have 40 different ones or whatever. That's when it was hardcore for me, buying that type of stuff.
Numbered to 25 and I'll have 40 of 40 different ones.
Yeah. That was when it was hardcore. So if he had, I'm sure that's when he had some stuff. There might be some stuff back there. Not where I have it divided up.
not big, there might be,
There's no 1-of-1 flawless autos or anything now.
No big patch autos or anything like that.
Yeah. It would be pretty random stuff from like I said, 03 to 09 if he has something like that.
Yeah.
Lucky number 12.
Lucky numero.
I think that's lucky number 13.
Well,
what's that guy?
Yes. Ose?
Tracy.
No, Tracy's 13.
No, that's what we did, right? Oh, Dose.
12. Dose.
There you go.
Yes. All right. Bienvenido. No. How do you say goodbye?
Adios.
Okay. Adios, muchachos. Come visit us next time at Cardcast in the warehouse. We're going to get out of here, guys.
Yeah, it's Friday night.
Yeah,
we got to go hit the clubs.
Friday night, and we're feeling right.
11 o'clock is when the club's open. We'll see you there.
Time to sort some Mosaic football parallels.
We got to go see what A-Rod's doing before he gets in the Hall of Fame.
Some coke.
Allegedly.
All right, guys.